Hi, it is Deborah Ariel Peach, and I'm here to talk about clearing your energy field and how absolutely imperative it is to engage in the awareness and the proactive tools of understanding and clearing your energy field. And I just want to share a couple of different things in regards to this from my own personal experience. And that is, I used to think in years ago that as long as I was just focusing on the light, that I was not going to need to deal with this other aspect of our existence, which is dark and dark energies. Well, let me tell you, back in 2005, when I really came out in the world with doing webinars, with some very advanced work with light language and clients that were really doing amazing things, I got slammed, and so did they. And we had no idea what was going on. And there was the client relationships ended. There was one that had a kind of a mental, physical, kind of more of a physical meltdown. And also, I actually started experiencing some rather challenging things that wreaked havoc with my life for 3 years. And so I had to really become aware of these energies that as you become more light, you will attract dark. And in order to transcend that, it is a matter of engaging proactively with owning your field, your energy field, and commanding that these energies do not exist in your field, and that they also transform and transmute into their highest and greatest potential. Until we transcend that duality and take ownership of our field, basically what I have experienced, and now I've talked to hundreds of other people regarding this, is that you are leaving yourself open and vulnerable for foul play. Now, one of the things that I like to share is that I had a channeling. I channel, and it was about a year and a half ago. I had Saint Germain come through, and to beautifully give me a visual of how these energies can muck things up. Now, I didn't record it, but I remember it very emphatically. So basically what Saint Germain was coming through and saying was, and he was using, I'm a producer, so he was using the analogy of a film camera. Now, back in the day when I was producing commercials and films, it was film, it was not digital. And it still is, of course, on the, a lot of the big movies and things like that. But what he was showing me was a film camera. And that when we would go out on location, the camera department would have to take be very careful about dust getting into the camera. I used to do like car commercials and, all sorts of things. So I've traveled all over the country, primarily the US, doing film shoots. And so this was, common knowledge that we'd have to have like the camera department would have a can of dust always, no matter what. But we have to, they have to take extra precaution. So what Saint Germain was giving me an analogy of is, sometimes the dust gets in on the lens and you just, you spray it or you wipe it and everything is fine. And that these dust devils, and this is the dark energy he's talking about, gets into your life, and some things can get disrupted and not align, that kind of thing. But you can move past it and everyone gets back into alignment, let's say. But then there's definitely these other energies that will literally stop production. And what he was showing me was, when the dust gets into the mechanism of the film camera, it stops production. It shuts everything down. Without the film camera, we don't shoot. The whole company of production is shut down. And that is what happened in my life actually for 3 years. And this is why I've become such a stickler about this. And anyone that I'm working with, it's one of those things where I say it's imperative that you learn how to clear your field and that it's an everyday thing. And what my guides have actually said is that once you get on a regular habit and you get into a regular habit of clearing your field and calling in the angelic realm and doing the things that I actually teach in the energy clearing audio. Once you actually get in the mode of doing that on a regular basis, what they've told me is you basically become an untouchable. Now, this was all new news and information for me. But what they've described is that you become known in the non-physical world as an untouchable, and that they know these energies that want to come in and wreak havoc and muck up things, that they actually are going to get zapped. And my guides actually call it, it's like you're almost like a bug zapper. And that you will say, any energies that are not in alignment with my highest and divine truth, I command that they be transformed and transmuted into their highest and greatest potential. And when you make that command, that has to be honored. The universe must honor that. Now, you may have noticed, I actually wasn't planning to do that, that just came through. But you may have noticed a shift in my energy because I am in my power, I am in my I am presence from my heart, fully owning my energy field. And this is what I teach. And it's really, as I said, I think it's absolutely imperative and will make a huge difference in your life. And even those spiritual beings that think, oh, I'm all of the light, I'm all of the light. Okay, I am not going to dispute you. I'm going to tell you what my experience has been and what I am committed to. And you make and everyone, of course, you've got free will, you make your own choices. And another thing too is that the information that I get also, when you become aware of other energies wanting to come in and muck things up, that there are times, depending on what you're doing, like I start every business meeting now with a prayer and a clearing, and there are times that you are being tracked. And I have had to learn to, if I'm being tracked and there's enough of that happening, that I will shut down a conversation in that moment. A lot of times my phone will go out, but I've learned the energy frequency of when I'm being viewed or being tracked, etc. And that's another thing to really pay attention to, because, you know, people are opening up to, the veil is thinning and people are opening up to their multidimensional beings. And, you know, there's been a lot of work that the government has done with remote viewing. A lot of it has not been of the light. And it's important for you to be aware if you're being tracked and if you're being viewed. And yeah, so the goal basically is to become an untouchable. So check out the website, shiftisHappeningTV.com, and also there's some free tools that are on there, and engage with other people that have the information too about clearing and protecting. And Archangel Michael of the Ascended Master Realm is really the one that oversees, but they all do. All the Ascended Masters, the Angelic Realm, oversees the clearing of and protecting your field. And I did a quick angel card reading last night, and I just decided to bring them down and have them on the desk here as I was doing this recording. And one of them, of the three, because I do jumpers. I'll ask a question and let cards jump out of the deck. These are Doreen Virtue's angel cards, and amazing way to have confirmation, by the way. So, and one of them that jumped out was, you are safe. I am protecting you against lower energies and guarding you, your loved ones, and home. And I'm sure that that also has to do with you know, I'm coming out with some very interesting information, and I'm not interested in engaging in duality, but I definitely feel that we need to know where we've been so that we can clear those aspects that are not serving us, which has a lot to do with a lot of deceit and shadow government stuff. And so we can transcend it and move into creating and co-creating the new paradigm that we are here to exist in. Okay, so I hope that that has helped. This is about clearing your energy field and the importance of that. Wherever you are in your journey, remember to love yourself and to honor yourself, and that we are in this together. We are all in this together. So remember to reach out to in the world with doing webinars, with some very advanced work with light language and clients that were really doing amazing things. I got slammed, and so did they. And I was not going to need to deal with this other aspect of our existence, which is dark and dark energies. Well, let me tell you, back in 2005, when I really came out with, hi, it is Deborah Ariel Peach, and I'm here to talk about clearing your energy field and how absolutely imperative it is to engage in the awareness and the proactive tools of understanding and clearing your energy field. And I just want to share a couple of different things in regards to this from my own personal experience. And that is, I used to think years ago that as long as I was just focusing on the light, that we had no idea what was going on. And there was the client relationships ended. There was one that had a kind of a mental, physical, kind of more of a physical